any public comment. If we could unmute all the numbers, please, that we don't know necessarily. And if anyone would like to hear from the public, please speak up. Okay. The next item, first item of business is approval of the minutes of our most recent meeting, which was on October 7th. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
Second.
There's a motion by Director Morse, seconded by Director Cruz. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is the legal bill of Pinoni Lopes, Devereaux, and O'Gara. The dollar figure is $39,722.26. This is their September bill. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move.
Second.
There's a motion to second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is a boatload of ratifications. Dollar figure is $2,935,987.35. Do we have a motion to ratify, and then we'll have a little discussion?
I'll move.
There's a
I'll
motion.
second.
There's a motion and a second. Mr. Seabury, can you give a little rundown on this, please?
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. So let me just run down bridge by bridge real quick. Newport Pell Bridge, so the majority of this work is for the electrical and communication upgrades project, the partial depth deck work project, the deck replacement, and the on-call miscellaneous repairs contract, which includes some pier work and some pre-stressed beam work as well, and some miscellaneous steel. There's also some inspection work that was ongoing this past period. On the previous three projects, you've got a mix of construction, mostly construction, resident engineering, construction inspection services, and construction support services. Jamestown Bridge, we did on-call miscellaneous repairs, large number for construction there. That was a lot of pier work and concrete repairs to the box girders, and the mix of construction, resident engineering, and construction inspection. Mount Hope Bridge, the same electrical and communication upgrades project that we're doing on Pell is being done on Mount Hope, and also some miscellaneous steel and on-call repairs to Mount Hope. There's an inspection component that happened this period, and some construction, resident engineering, construction inspection services, and construction support services. And lastly, Secana River Bridge, we still had some miscellaneous on-call repairs being performed. There's no construction component to this past month, but there is some oversight for resident engineering, construction inspection, and construction support services. Nothing on the other roads and bridges or facilities this month.
Any questions for Mr. Seabury? All those in favor of the motion to ratify, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion carries. The next item relates to the Quasi-Public Corporations Accountability and Transparency Act. So there is a requirement within the general law related to quasi-public agencies that each have a compensation committee that's comprised of members of the board. Director Silvera, Executive Director Silvera brought it to my attention. So what I would do is I'd make a motion to create a board. I think we'd have to do 2 members based upon the fact that if it was 3, then be a quorum of the actual board, so that doesn't make any sense. So I'd make a motion to create a compensation committee comprised of 2 members, and if this motion is successful at our next meeting, we would appoint members to that compensation committee. So I'll make that motion.
I'll move.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? And again, to be clear, this would be to create a compensation committee from the board made up of 2 members of the board. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. The next item relates to the retirement plan for our employees. So we're going to make a motion to approve the, I guess, Ms. Silvera, is this actually an amendment to the contract? What do we need to put before us?
It's, thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. This is a motion to amend the retirement plan terms to allow employees to begin to contribute their own funds at the 6-month mark rather than waiting to contribute their own funds until they have worked here for 12 months.
Right, so we'll make that in the form of a motion, and then we'll get some more explanation. Is there,
So moved.
there's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. So if you can just explain that further, please?
Sure. In 2017, we had agreed with the union and we put into this collective bargaining agreement that we would endeavor to, we would look into the matter of an amendment to the plan to accelerate the time at which the employee could contribute the employee's own funds from 12 months to 6 months. This has no cost associated with it for the authority because the authority's obligation to match and to offer the discretionary piece are unaffected by this motion. It is simply moving the time when an employee can put the employee's own funds in from the 12-month mark to 6 months. It's also not expected to have much of an impact in terms of administrative work.
Oh,
Any
well,
questions? Go ahead.
Yes, I have a question.
oh, I do too.
Let's go ladies first. Director Morse.
Do other state agencies have only a 6-month waiting period? Do we have any comparability on what we're doing versus other agencies?
We checked with the retirement plan administrators, the companies that we employ. 3 to 6 months is actually more common because the concept is to encourage employees to begin to plan for retirement earlier rather than later. So 3 to 6 is more reasonable.
Director Alviti?
Yes, do we know why it was 12 months to begin with? Why was it set at that by the board previously?
It's been that way for as long as I can remember, and that's a long time. So
Long time being what? 40
many iterations of many renewals of the retirement plan administrators. We employ Angel Pension. We use Meridian. We have several. It's been that way. I think, Director, that obviously the idea is that you don't want to create too much of an administrative issue if people are hopping in and out. If they don't
Yeah.
remain with us for a year.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is it linked maybe to any other provisions in the contract, the union contract, that have a period of time, a review period for a new employee, so that the time of their contribution coincides with them meeting the requirements for the review period?
I believe we do have a probationary language in the CBA, and this would be consistent. This amendment would render it consistent.
All right, so the probationary period is 6 months?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? All those in favor of the motion to amend the retirement portion of the contract, please say, not the contract, the plan, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item relates to our health benefits broker. The incumbent was Gallagher and Company. They were the only bidder that put in a proposal for this. Do we have a motion to approve? And then we'll have a little discussion.
I'll move.
There's a motion
Second.
and a second. Director Silvera.
Yes. Thank you. The Gallagher and Associates has been advising us for many years. They acquired the company that we dealt with for a number of years, which was Park Row Associates. So we have since successfully dealt with Gallagher as the successor. Since they submitted their proposal, we did ask for a clarification on the insurance that they would have in the event they were to make a mistake in choosing our group health plans. And they have since then, since we sent the board package out, they've clarified that there's a $20 million insurance language provision that would protect us in the event that they recommended a plan and we were to incur damages on account of it. So that was my only concern, and that's been clarified. And if it wasn't clear, the point of this contract is our group health plans expire 12/31. This broker will help us to place our insurance and get the best group plans possible for the coming year.
Is this an annual contract? We renew this every year? Because I know I've seen this before.
The group plans do renew every year, yes.
But is our contract with Gallagher an annual one? Or is it for more than 1 year of services? Probably just, I know the fee is 18,000 per year.
It's a
I was
three,
wondering if it's just for 1 year or will it continue for a couple of years?
Director, I believe it's for 3 years, and we quantified the $18,000 a year based on experience of what we've paid. In the second and third years, it's actually in all 3 of the years, it's based on the census of who's included in the group health plan. So, but we approximated the cost at $18,000 a year that we pay to them. So yes, it's a 3-year contract.
3 years.
So I have a follow-up question.
Sure.
If they help us make a decision by December 31st, what do they do for the second 2 years?
Excuse me, Director, I didn't hear the last part. What do they?
If the purpose of hiring them is to have them help us make a decision that you're going to make by December 31st, what will they be doing for the other 2 years?
They'll be helping us make the decision again next year.
So I understand. So there is work for them to do each of the 3 years.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's terminable, by the way, the contract is terminable on, I believe it's 60 days notice.
Okay.
Any other questions or any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve Gallagher, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
My dog voted in favor as well. The motion carries. The last item for consideration by the board.
Oh, we lost your voice.
Sorry, she was getting a little rowdy. I apologize. Thank you. The last item of business is the approval of an amendment with Etna Bridge. This relates to some emergency work that was conducted on the Mount Hope Bridge. Do you have a motion? And then we'll have a little discussion.
I'll move.
There's a
Second.
motion and a second. Mr. Seabury, do you want to run down this work, please?
Sure. Back in July, some pieces of concrete fell from the Mount Hope Bridge. Apparently, one of them struck a boat, did not create any injuries. However, the immediate response was to go out and find out what happened. And when they went under the bridge, they noticed that there was some loose stay-in-place forms under the bridge. So it was decided to immediately mobilize Etna Bridge, who they were already mobilized, not doing miscellaneous repairs on the bridge anyways. So the decision was to give them authorization to go out there and perform work on this. It was a time and materials tracking. In the end, they spent 15 days removing loose stay-in-place form and pieces of concrete to further prevent any loose debris and bridge material from falling on any other boats or anybody down below. And so this was done with the intent to do it as a change order to the existing on-call contract that they were already mobilized out there, as it's it's related work as well. The total cost of the work ended up being $58,350 for 15 days of work. And that included disposal of all of the material as well.
Any questions for Mr. Seabury?
Yes.
Director Morse?
I know we have a contract with them, and I was curious as to why this wouldn't be covered in a normal contract with Aetna, why it's additional.
It wouldn't be covered because the contract that they've been on didn't have this work in it. So this was just a change order to the existing contract. That's why we tracked it as time and materials back then when they did the work, and just the plan was to add it as a change order. The existing contract work had bid items that did not include removal of stay-in-place forms or concrete.
Okay.
So it is done, technically under the contract, but it has to be done as a change order to the contract because it's just extra work that wasn't bid on.
I've got a question.
Director Moore, Director Elbert.
Do we know what the last time the underside of that bridge was inspected?
They actually so it would have been 2 years ago, it was on a 2-year cycle, I believe, that bridge. So it would have been a 2-year prior inspection.
The inspection they did last month took a look at the rest of the underside of the bridge.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've asked the consultant to, they're actually right now summarizing anything that would need immediate addressing. We haven't heard of anything emergency coming out of the inspection so far, but we are any day now they'll be sending us the results that'll say, you need to do this right away, or this just needs to be planned.
That the formwork that fell was part of previous construction that was left in place.
It was some stay in place. Yeah, it was previous construction or deck patches that were done.
Okay.
Correct.
And
Any other
they've checked the rest of the bridge for similar kinds of left in place forms, right?
Yeah, so Aetna actually did that as they were working for those 15 days, and they basically went along and looked for anything else that was in the same condition, pulled everything down that was loose, and anything else will just be monitored from, moving forward.
Okay. Because that happened within a 2-year period, right? So we want to make sure that they inspected it good enough so that we don't have something like that happening before the next.
That's right. That's right. Plus, our own folks will be out there doing, putting their eyes on everything as well.
Okay. Have we invested in any drone kind of technology to help us do those kinds of periodic inspections?
We have started to dabble in the drone area. And as a matter of fact, our asset manager has been getting some training in flying drone because something like that could really help us out in these instances. I mean, we really could do more regular inspections without a lot of manpower.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Any
right.
other questions? All those in favor of the motion to amend the contract with Aetna, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The Executive Director's Report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am very happy to report that we have brought on board Jeffrey Goulart. Jeff is a native. He's on the call this morning. I'm happy to introduce him to all of you. He's a native of a native of Little Compton. We had some wonderful applicants. We were very pleased with the applicants and very pleased when we narrowed the field with the applicants. We had a hard choice to make. I'm very grateful to Director Morse for helping us with that and guiding us. I'm also grateful to Tony and to Kathy, who did yeoman's duty in recent months as we delved into the finances of the Turnpike and Bridge Authority while we awaited Jeff's arrival. Jeff comes to us from the Rhode Island Airport Corporation, where he was Vice President of Finance and Business Development. I can assure you, his email box is already full, was when he took the seat 2 days ago, and he's ready to get to work. We're thrilled to have him and think we have a great team in place.
Okay.
Also, traffic and revenue data. Good news still, when the weather is great, the news is even better. If you're following the traffic and revenue reports, we, as recently as October 26th, we hit 104% of our number last year, the same day last year. We did have some rain last week to end the drought or make a good dent in it, and so our numbers dipped a little bit, but they're still strong and leaving us in the upper 70s or closer to, like I say, when the sunshine this week will help us get back up closer to 80. The last page of the financial report that's in your package is the document we've promised you that we would provide every month on the current budget, making certain that we're staying on budget. We're significantly over budgeted revenue for both toll revenue and gas tax revenue. All good news. Other than that, we have been very busy with regulatory compliance. We're in the middle of the accountability and transparency audit. We got a gold star before, we hope for another. We're in the middle of complying with state regulatory requirements as well as FEMA. So FEMA and submission of budget to the OMB. So all good, and I think that's it.
Excellent. Any questions for Director Silvera? Welcome to Mr. Goulart.
Welcome.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Rosie, is the
Rosie
third.
agrees.
All those in favor of the motion to adjourn, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All, any opposed? The meeting's adjourned. Come here, Rosie. Look, show the camera.
Let me see the camera. Let me see Rosie.
There's Rosie. I don't know if you can see her. Try and eat the,
I can see your
eat the
tail.
computer. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Everyone.
Bye.
Oh.